How to make whipped cream. If you have a sweet tooth, then you should learn how to make whipped cream. Once you have tasted the homemade version, you'll realize that the version that you buy in the aerosol can is nowhere near as good as the real stuff. What most kitchen rookies don't realize is that whipped cream is actually very easy to make. It takes less than 10 minutes, and a batch can be kept in the fridge for more than a day without losing its fluffiness. Crème à la chantilly is simply a fancy name for whipped cream that has been sweetened. The velvety texture and delicate flavor of the whipped cream go with almost any type of dessert, including puddings, cakes, and fresh fruit slices. Here are the steps. 1. To make whipped cream, you need some heavy cream. 1 cup of heavy cream yields 2 cups of whipped cream. You also need a few tablespoons of confectioner sugar. This is the powdery kind, such as that sprinkled on top of donuts, not the granular kind. And your choice of flavoring. Vanilla and almond are particularly great with homemade whipped cream, but you can also use fruit-based flavors like orange or lemon. You don't need a lot, just a few drops to add some subtlety to the flavor. 2. Now here's the important part. You need to make sure that everything that you use for whipping up the cream is as cold as it can get. The coldness helps the fats in the cream to harden so that it can build volume easily. A few hours before you start whipping, place the heavy cream and the flavoring in the chiller, and put the metal mixing bowl, whisk, and mixer tip in the freezer. 3. You can shorten the whipping time for your cream if you use the double bowl method. Place the whipping bowl in a larger bowl with some ice water, just enough so that the ice water does not slip over into the whipping bowl. Place the heavy cream into the whipping bowl and begin mixing at a low speed so that you don't get splatters everywhere. Add the confectioner sugar and a few drops of the flavoring. Don't overdo it. If needed, you can just add more of it later. 4. Simply use a hand whisk if you don't have an electric mixer. Just hold the whisk downwards and draw it through the cream in quick, sharp movements. Alternate between circular and straight strokes. The goal is to aerate the cream and agitate the fat. 5. The heavy cream will develop some bubbles, then gradually change into a foamy liquid. Continue until you've achieved the stiffness that you need. If you're going to be using the whipped cream as a topping for cakes and pastries, then you can stop once some soft peaks form when you draw the whisk upwards. For cake frosting or mousse topping, you need the whipped cream to be stiffer. Overbeating the cream can cause the butter to separate from the whey, so you have to stop before it becomes clotted. You can transfer the whipped cream into a covered container or piping bag and keep it in the fridge for a day and a half before it starts to get flat. For a low-sugar version, substitute artificial sweeteners for confectioner sugar. This recipe teaches you how to make whipped cream the conventional way. If you have a cream charger, which is like a handheld bullet that allows you to shake heavy cream by hand, then remember to mix in the sugar and the flavoring before shaking so that you don't get clumps.